Hey everyone, welcome back. So, in this video, I'm mostly going to focus on academics since that is the biggest hurdle filled with tons of misinformation, especially from the so-called seniors, most of whom don't know anything but will stand at the forefront with their Gyan, even if you don't ask them, which is so pathetic. Any which ways, don't listen to them. I did the same and I paid really heavy price for it. So, now the question comes. Whom should you listen to? And the answer is simple. Listen to the people who have already made it. For example, Dr. Aditya Gupta, or you can even listen to Dr. Patil, he's very famous. Anyone, from AIIMS Delhi and stuff. Or if you want to go international, Dr. Abdal from Cambridge. And luckily for you, I'll give you a concise and easy to understand, no bullshit guide. Okay? So, this video is for the newbies, especially for the people who are the first doctors in their family, like I was. But before I begin the video, I do want to highlight the Kolkata incidents. I won't go into the details, but I feel good that I am making videos for people to get out of this absolutely and pathetically failed system. We medicos are well versed with the pattern. It's not the first time, and after looking at the way it was handled, like always, it's definitely not the last time, and it will occur again and again. So I'll do whatever I can from my part to protect my peers and at the very least help them make an informed decision. Okay, so coming to the topic. So first let's tackle academics. Now for this I'll give you a very simple analogy. Okay, always think about input versus output ratio. What do I mean by that? Okay, so remember the people who work their tail off in 10th standard or 12th standard to get the highest marks possible. Now think about the amount of hours they spend in that endeavor. Okay, many might have scored in 90s or even above 95s, whatever, but the point to note is no one cares. Those marks are literally worthless right now. But then again, there are people who dedicated and studied very intensely for their NEET UG. And those are the people who are now sitting in a medical college, that is you guys. Okay, so it's not about how much work you did, it's about in which direction you did it. It's a vector. Similarly, in MBBS you have terms, prelims and even final university exams. The marks that you get in these exams are literally useless for your future. But then again, the marks that you get in NEET PG will literally decide your entire future if you choose to stay in India. So here is what you need to do. Number 1, do first aid for physiology and biochemistry for first year. Number 2, for anatomy, watch my video I'm really proud of that video. I did so well and I'm so happy that it helped you all so much. And also getting beautiful comments from anatomy giants of YouTube on my video was just the cherry on the top. So do watch that video and you'll get everything you need to know about anatomy, which is like the most weakest point of everyone. So do that. Third, do practicals from your practicals book. Literally everything is given in them and it's really concise and you don't need to go around and waste your time on asking where to study for practicals. The only thing you will have to seek out from your seniors is the spots, which are basically pictures of different stuff that you have to identify in your exams. It's very easy to get and everyone gets Google Drive links and stuff like that which contains all the pictures and stuff, so don't worry about that. That's the only thing that you need to ask. Rest you can easily cover from your practical books. Number 4. Now, the reason why I'm telling you to do first aid is that that's the book from which most of the question in AIIMS PG and NEET PG comes from. Basically, it's like the NCERT for NEET PG. And we all know what happens if you focus on any other book and not focus on NCERT. If everything in first aid is at your fingertips, you are set for NEET PG and also INSCT. And if you miss anything from it, it's gonna be a massive disaster. Okay. At this point, I want to refer you to the Dr. Aditya Gupta's channel. He is the top ranker in AIIMS and has got top ranks in all NEET UG, INSCT and also super specialty exams. He's a person who has walked the walk and therefore his advice is really valuable. He's an excellent mentor and everything related to excelling in medical school can be found in his channel. So go check it out. It's a great channel. Now, first aid is not a learning resource. It's more like concise notes. You cannot learn from it, but you can quickly revise from it. And have all the most important points covered. This is very important. So for learning the content, like in case of UG, we had classes like Ellen, Akash, For NEET PG, we have Marrow, Prep Ladder and DAMS. These are the usual suspects. Now, I want to warn you about something very important. Most seniors are gonna tell you to read standard books and stuff, and not worry about Marrow or NEET PG Prep initially. Go do it in the later years. Don't listen to them. Start them right now. Okay? Do not listen to them. I did the same mistake, and it was the worst mistake I ever made. Thankfully, I rectified it later after watching all these YouTube channels and stuff. I will give you a simple reason why. So think logically for a second. The educators on this platform, Marrow, Prep Ladder, DAMS, etc., are the top of their field. They have read all the books way beyond our standard books. Everything they have read. They have the greatest amount of knowledge and have all that knowledge with them. Along with that, they are the top educators. They know how to correctly impart that knowledge so you can digest extremely complex topics. Like for example, just try reading anatomy. You will understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So instead of trying to first read, then comprehend what has been written, and then forget, and then again read, and then maybe understand, but not really, but partially, and then spend countless amount of time making notes and stuff, which if you don't, you won't be able to revise, and then you will fail. Okay. So best thing that you can do is just get on a platform, get everything spoon-fed in the most easiest and most digestible manner with notes, and plus point, have MCQ solving habits, and therefore get set for NEET PG with the least amount of effort and the most amount of gains. Remember, input versus output. The goal is to get maximum output from minimum input. And don't get me wrong, just because you will be saving a lot of time and will be set for NEET PG, here comes some very important points that might hinder you. Number one, FOMO, that is the fear of missing out. This is going to be one of the biggest hurdle that you will, eventually you will pass, even if you don't follow my advice and go the conventional route. But my goal is to make you get past it as soon as possible, because it's the worst thing to your academics. Let me tell you one thing very clearly. I have seen people who have bought all the books, standard books and stuff in the world, and best bone sets and all the unnecessary stuff, but most of them barely passed, and some even failed. Just because you bought a book does not mean that you have read it. Forget remembering the contents. Remember, in medicine, if you want to learn, then keep on learning throughout your life, and still you will have things to learn. And remember, it's always changing with time and new research. So it's not about reading a lot, it's about understanding fundamental concepts in the most clear and concise manner. And also remember necessary facts which will help you progress further in this journey by helping you become a good physician as well as prepare you for NEET PG. Remember, you have your entire life to follow your passion and to learn deeply. Let me give you an example. Suppose you love dermatology. You want to learn about that subject deeply and continue to practice it in your future. But if you don't have the rank in NEET PG, you won't get the opportunity no matter how good your knowledge is in dermatology or even how much research you have done in that field. I'll give you a better example. It's just like NEET UG aspirants who loves biology and study it deeply from different books. But if they study it from very heavy and huge PhD level books and ignore the plain and simple NCRT, and since they spend so much time in that one subject, if they don't focus on physics and chemistry and solving MCQs, they won't clear NEET UG and won't be able to become a doctor and actually follow their passion. Okay, next, after this step, you will have another dilemma: what to do with all the free time. Now, I know it may sound impossible, but yes, you will have free time. But here comes the second most worst thing you can do to jeopardize your entire leverage of time, and that is to waste it. And no, it's not what you think. I'm not going to tell you to stop hanging out with your friends, exploring different places and different relationships. Those are not wastage of time. These are essential things in life. Remember, life is not just about scoring marks in entrance exams. It also contains very critical aspects like relationships, not just romantic, although that's definitely very important and beautiful, but also other types. Skills development, whether it's social skills, communication, typing, financial skills, guitar, whatever you like. You don't want to be the person who has achieved everything in terms of academics but are still pathetic in all other aspects of your life. You won't be happy, nor the people who are dependent on you. Okay, you should learn the art of happiness, not just for yourself but for others too. And we all know happiness is a combination of many critical factors, and relationships are one of the key components of it. Okay, there have been many studies done, all points to this fact. But then again, in terms of relationships, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Okay, yes, learn how to interact with many people in a productive way, but have a few close-knit friends who are truly your friends. That's priceless. Okay, and therefore focus on quality, not quantity. And if you ever find pathetic people, get away from them. As simple as that. Remember, you are the sum of 5 people who you spend most time with. Okay, so prioritize that very efficiently. This is very important point. Okay, remember, be a good person but don't be naive. Not everyone who says are your friends are really your friends, and not everyone who you think are your enemies are really your enemies. Learn to identify such parasites and discard them from your life. Okay, learn this skill, the skill of saying no. It's very important. Remember, in order to give time to something, you have to necessarily not give time to other things, and therefore have very specific and limited, not more than 3. Okay, and then prioritize your entire time to that. Okay, remember, experience is the best teacher. Don't be afraid to learn from them. Okay, go ahead and explore. But for your convenience, I'll give you a trick. Identify 20% of the people who are causing 80% of your problems, and then if you have the guts, do something about it. It's always like that. A very minority of people will be causing maximum of your problems. Observe, identify, and if possible, eliminate, and if not, deal with them. Okay, next, let's come to a very important topic, and that is things to avoid. And for identifying these things, again, think of input versus output. Think of the amount of commitment required, amount of energy and other stuff required, and what you get out of it. Okay, so I'll give you a very simple example, which is becoming class representative, in short, CR. So CR is a person who will, as the name says, represent the entire class for anything, basically, whether it's official or unofficial stuff. So you will have huge burden of the entire class, and if anything goes wrong, you are the first one to get targeted, and I literally mean targeted. And of course, you are the first contact with teachers, officials, and very importantly, seniors. And what output do you get from this? Slight increase in social status for a month or 2, not more than that. Okay, after which nobody cares, but this tag of CR and the responsibilities remain with you throughout your MBBS. So again, input versus output, have that in mind. Now, some of you might be very interested in learning leadership skills and other skills, in communication and stuff, and for that reason you would want to become CR. But that is not a good strategy, as there are multiple other activities where you can easily join and build your leadership skills without having to commit to such heavy, responsible and demanding position with literally no benefits. Okay, I would highly encourage you to avoid any such activities, including student council posts like GS or whatever. Here you will be putting a lot of efforts to impress people that you don't even like, and the output you get again is the same, temporary increase in social status and nothing permanent. If you are thinking from point of view of scoring marks in interview for job and residency, a very unique case, but yes, it can happen. Like for example, in case anyone is thinking of PLAB or USMLE and stuff, you might falsely believe that these things will help you build a better portfolio and stuff. None of this matters. Okay, I'll make a detailed video for that, or you can check out my USMLE videos. I have made a good amount of comment on this, so you can check that out. Okay, coming back to the point, put your efforts in area where you will actually get some return on investment and not just temporary gains. And remember, it does not have to be just in terms of monetary gains, but can be in the form of emotional, social, physical and other important skills that will be helpful throughout your life. Learn to play long-term games with high integrity people. Okay, let's talk about the skills you do want to develop. So, skills like communication, which includes learning to speak in English, is a really great idea. Other things include learning how to type, because if you are thinking of working outside India, or planning to settle in good corporates, even in India, like I have also seen this in government institutes, you are required to type your notes and case summaries and stuff like that. And learning to type will not only help you with that, but is one of the greatest single boosts you can add to your online productivity arsenal. It is one of those skills that amplify all other actions that you do, from making notes to making YouTube video scripts, if you want to be a YouTuber, to learning to code or communicating online. It is a must-know skill. And for the people who want to learn, just type on YouTube how to touch type, which is typing without looking at keyboard, and then just follow the steps. It's as easy as that. YouTube is the best teacher. Okay, it's very easy. Next, do something that gets you out of your comfort zone and helps you grow. It can be anything, whatever makes you uncomfortable, but that is going to help you in the long run. For me, one of the things to do was YouTube. For you, it might be something entirely different. Okay, do something that makes you uncomfortable. Very important. Next, try keeping your list of goals short and concise and precise. Make very systematic steps as to how you will achieve them. Just remember this: you cannot achieve everything you want, but you can definitely achieve whatever you want. It's a very big distinction. Just think about it. It's all about prioritization. It's best to limit your goals to 3 to 4 at max, okay, and try making one of them a form of exercise. It's going to be great for you in the long run. And remember, a very, very important point: what gets measured gets improved, and therefore be very analytical with your goals. And now, an obvious thing, but most people forget: remember your NEET UG journey. What helped you and what didn't, and apply those principles in this journey too. Okay, a lot of the things are same, so it will help you really well. And lastly, I want to say, none of the rules are hardcore things to follow. Okay, it's more important to remember the principles like input and output, 80-20, etc. Everyone has different priorities, different things that brings you joy. Whether it's getting great marks in unis or becoming CR, if that's what makes you happy, do it. It doesn't matter, or whatever it is. If that truly brings you joy, don't listen to anyone and go for it. Enjoy, but don't do things that you wouldn't normally do just to impress people that you don't even like. That's a good criteria to assess yourself. And lastly, and most importantly, enjoy. Enjoy fully. Do fun stuff, make time and prioritize those things. It is extremely important. These are the things you will remember for your entire life. Okay, so I think that's it for now. There are many other things, but for basics, this is good. I'll also post about each of the point and more important points like usage of social media or unexpected tragedies and how to cope with them, and many other things. And also secrets and ways MBBS works at each level, and each and every, and things that nobody really talks about. Hush hush. all to help you all have the best time of your life, as well as grow and learn and make the best of every situation you're presented with. Okay, with that, let's end this video. Good luck. Bye bye.